Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues here live on TNT Sports. Our next contest of the evening is 10 rounds for the WBC International Super Featherweight Championship. Brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensbury, along with their great sponsors, 32 Red and Unibet. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your supervisor in charge is Des Reeds, along with the World Boxing Council, the President, Mauricio Suleiman, the Supervisor, Mr. Charlie Giles. Introducing your 3 scoring judges from ringside, from Watford, Mr. Bob Williams, from Bury, Mr. John Latham, and from South Oxy, Mr. Lee Every. Your timekeeper from Bletchley is Mark Shannon, and your referee, Kevin Parker from Newark. Introducing first the challenger in the red corner. He has a record of 13 wins, only 1 defeat with 1 draw, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. At the weigh-in, he scaled 9 stone 3 pounds, and tonight he wears the blue and white shorts. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from Chingford, the former Southern Area champion, the former English champion, and the former British Super Featherweight champion, Dillon! And across the ring in the blue corner, he is unbeaten, with a record of 14 wins and no defeats, with 8 big wins coming by way of knockout. At the weigh-in, he scaled 9 stone 3 pounds, and tonight he wears the white and red shorts. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting from Southampton, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC International Super Featherweight champion,
dressing room, you know what I expect. Obey my commands at all times, above all, protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
Final words from Kevin Parker. I know the Ring of Fire from Riyadh comes next week. This is a proper fiery one in the York Hall Bethnal Green here tonight. And straight to it at Super Featherweight over 10 rounds, and straight to it from the get-go. Here comes Liam Dillon. A human tank, if ever there was one, against the often silky smooth Ryan Garner. The clash of styles is obvious right from the start. Garner has all the shots, Richie. Dillon has all the heart in the world, I think.
Yeah, Garner's a very skillful boxer indeed, but he'll have to be here against a very determined opponent in Dillon, who's just going to box on that front foot coming forward. Got to move his head a little bit more though, Paul. Gets caught with shots like that if he's not too careful, so he's got to move the head, but he's got to keep the pressure on and don't give Garner the time and the space, because if you do, then he's going to pick you off.
Garner turned pro here June 2016. Anyone who witnessed it will still remember it. Since then, his career has gone round in circles and his life has spun wildly out of control at times. Now he says he has control back, and it's just possible he can still forge a top-class career for himself. We're going to find out a lot tonight about him. We know everything there is to know in one sense about Liam Dillon already, Richie, but if he does what he can do on repeat, he can punch holes in most opponents, can't he?
Yes, he can. He just got caught with a lovely right hand though, Paul, as he's coming forward. So it's been a fast start from Dillon here, but you've got to say that Garner has adjusted straight away and gone with that sort of tempo. You certainly got to avoid that area of the ring, got to get off those ropes, and you instinctively look, it just moves off to the side. Another good right hand.
Sharp punching from Ryan Garner, reminiscent of that debut, actually, all those years ago. Ricky Leach was the opponent that night. The thing about Dillon, he's just undeterred. You can make him look silly at times. It doesn't matter to him, Richard.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's coming forward, Paul, but he's getting caught with the better quality shots from Garner, no doubt. Dillon looks impressive going forward, but Garner is coming back with the quality.
Up and down. Precision engineering from Ryan Garner so far tonight. Terrific start from him. And he's going for it, Garner. So much resting on this tonight, like it was for Archie Sharp. Where have you been? We asked the same question of Ryan Garner as of Archie Sharp. Truth to tell, we're going to need maybe a documentary lasting about 30 minutes to fit in all the reasons why the career has never taken off.
Yeah, most certainly.
But the talent is very obvious.
What a great first round this has been, Paul. All action. Dillon started it so well, but the better quality work again has come from Garner. He's matched him every step of the way.
Dillon reaching for some big shot at the end of the round. What a round. No time has been wasted here. A flying start from Ryan Garner. Wayne Batton and Frankie Hopkins in the corner tonight. Liam Dillon. This has been his manner here. I know he's from nearby Waltham Forest Amateur Boxing Club, wasn't it? He's from Chinkford in Essex, and 14 times Dillon has fought here as a pro in the York Hall Bethnal Green. And a lot of good nights, a lot of times when he's come through crises to win. Garner looking razor sharp, Ryan Garner, at the start of this fight tonight, Richie.
Yeah, he's fought fire with fire, hasn't he, Garner? And he's caught Dillon with the better quality shots. The eye-catching work has come from Garner, who's mainly been on his back foot, but his accuracy, his timing has been absolutely spot on. You can't rule Dillon out because he keeps coming forward, he's persistent and he's tough, but he's walking on to better shots from his opponent, Garner.
I've always watched Garner thinking some of the stuff that this kid has got you can't teach. It's so natural. He's had to learn how to live his life. That's been the biggest issue.
Oh, those body shots from Garner, that left hook, superb. The way he switches the attack, takes the attention away from that shot with the head shots, with the jabs, and then he'll switch downstairs with the left hook to the body.
As a fighting man, Dillon's first response is always to walk forward, but when he got that classic Garner left hook underneath into the rib cage, he just couldn't walk forward for half a second or two there. Now he does, but he's caught coming in, and Richie has rightly said he is taking a lot of heavy artillery, and again here.
Yeah, big shots. The problem with Paul as well is he's just slow. His attacks are just a little bit too slow with the footwork. He's got the right approach, as in he's got to go forward. He knows that, but it's a little bit too slow. And it's just allowing Garner the time to pick his spot. He's accurate with his work. There's that left hook again downstairs. That's a cracking shot indeed.
And Garner from the outside. He's cased his man up and down and side to side so far. He feels he can't miss at the moment. That must be a great feeling for a fighter, Richie.
Yeah. Accuracy, timing, certainly with Garner. But again, slow feet from Dillon. So he's starting to feel it a little bit, these shots that he's taken. He's got to be more sustained, Paul. He's got to double the jab up and close the gap down, then switch his own work downstairs, has Dillon. But he's just slowed down now, suiting Garner. Oh!
The body shots are real showstoppers occasionally from Garner.
Yeah, that was a good shot. That left up there, Paul, to the body. You can see how the body language, he's moved back, Dillon.
He's got the boxing brain to go with the talent in his fist. That's also true of Ryan Garner, and he must know that, Richie, he's got the shots here to put Dillon away.
Yeah, I agree, Paul. Quality work from him. These body shots downstairs, they're really taking their toll now. Good round again for Garner.
It might already be the case that Dillon needs a rethink here.
Offense, defense, smart defense. Don't give him nothing, yeah? Brilliant.
The words from Wayne Batton there, brilliant. Don't give him nothing. I think they're buzzing in the corner. Frank Hopkins, left of screen with his back to us, has been the most patient man in British boxing, because from day one he has known what Garner could be. Is this the day of days for Ryan Garner, when he finally starts to put his past behind him. Terrific start here tonight. Dillon outgunned completely, but he believes he'll find a way. It's just in him.
Yeah, he's game, isn't he? He's really going for it. It's all or nothing for Dillon. The skill is definitely with Garner, but Dillon knows his only chance is to get up close and just keep punching, sustain the pressure and the attacks, and try and avoid shots as he's coming forward. That's what he's got to try and do, but it's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, Richie. He's slower on his feet, seems to be outreach, and he just doesn't have the accuracy up and down. But he's got a massive heart and huge determination, and they can take a person a long way in life.
Yeah, he's certainly got the will, hasn't he? Liam Dillon, strong as they come.
So Garner needs to keep on being brilliant.
Signs in the last round, Paul, that Dillon was just feeling those body shots a touch.
I thought so too, Richie. A lot of stuff just bounces off him, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Garner seeking to stay out of harm's way. Kevin Parker is refereeing this fight with sympathy and understanding. We've got excellent tradesmen in there, and there haven't been many times he's had to intervene whatsoever.
You know when Garner's landed a good shot downstairs, Paul, because he just increases the intensity a little bit. He knows he's landed well, and he just ups the tempo slightly, does Garner. Oh, that was impressive.
Been a quite masterful opening to this fight by Ryan Garner. It is over 10 rounds. There's plenty of room for it to change around.
That's where Dillon has got to keep Ryan Garner, in that corner on those ropes. But Garner, he knows that's a bad place for him, and straight away he moves back to that centre ring.
Didn't feel, Richie, as though Dillon was accurate enough with those shots.
No. The quality in the punching is definitely with Garner, Paul. The accuracy, the timing, and the actual quality of the shot, the way it lands, the power. The quality of his punching is a little bit better.
Yes. One is operating with a scalpel and a rapier, and the other is just chucking rocks, almost with bare hands. And that's Dillon, and it's not going to be enough, I don't think.
Yeah? Good.
Huge support for Ryan Garner from Southampton. If things had turned out slightly differently, he might have been wearing the red and white of Southampton Football Club, apparently. And they were very keen on him, Richie, but he was man enough at the age of 12 to say, I do like football, but I love boxing.
I think he chose the right career. Because he's a talent, Ryan Garner. We've seen Liam Dillon in those clips before. He's coming forward, he's brave. Like you said, the quality isn't quite there. He can't quite find the target clean enough.
Not yet, anyway. If Garner keeps up the pace, it's going to be hard for Dillon. Certainly, he started this fourth round at a real good lick again, hasn't he, Garner? And he can box on the inside, and he can turn his man as he's just done there. And that is because he has got all the skills.
Yeah, very skillful indeed. It's as if he senses that he's in the wrong position when he's on those ropes. And it only lasts a couple of seconds, and then he turns his opponent. That's a good body shot. That hurt Dillon, that left up there.
He's on song tonight, and the Southampton fans who are here in great numbers are in great voice. They have always stuck with him through all the really dark times. A kid who's often been his own worst enemy.
I'll tell you what, Paul, this Dillon, you know, he's a tough kid, he really is. He takes these body shots really well. You can see that he's hurt from them because his whole demeanour sort of changes. The punch output slows down, he goes backwards occasionally, but he comes through it. He's a tough kid.
I can't quite make out what the tattoos on Dillon are, Richie, but surely there's a reference to Rocky Marciano somewhere, surely.
Well, really, Paul. Another good body shot again. And it's just doing enough then to slow him down, you see, and then Dillon then gets to work upstairs again. Garner knows he's in a fight here.
He is watchful and respectful. They've hardly dropped a result between them in their careers. 14 straight wins for Garner. And Dillon with 1 defeat and 1 draw. But he's the kind of kid, he'll lose his British title as he did, and he'll just say, right, that was 1 day's work, now today's another day's work. So Garner, who's just excelling here tonight, Richie, he has to keep on doing it, doesn't he?
Well, he does, yes, but there's a perfect example there of Dillon drawing Garner into a toe-to-toe battle that he wants, but it was Garner who actually landed the better shots on the inside. So he's coming up against a guy here who can box on the outside, but he's equally as good at close range.
Dillon's feeling a lot of these shots from Garner. However, if he hangs his chin out, as he did there once during that exchange, he's still asking for a potential problem tonight for me. How do you deter Liam Dillon? That's the biggest mystery of the night. We've sold a few. We've got Archie Sharp back in action. We've got Ryan Garner back in action for all the missing years. But it's a terrific fight, absolutely terrific. And another one to come, of course, in our top of the bill tonight at middleweight. Denzel Bentley against Danny Dignam. East End meets Southwest Inner City here in London. So much rivalry between them, very respectful, of course. Almost a friendly rivalry, but there are no friends in there. Denzel Bentley knows that, Dignam knows it. Pivotal moment tonight in the careers of both, and waiting in the wings, there he is. Couldn't have timed that any better, could he? Well, he's not looking for a job in reality TV. He's the British middleweight champion, Richie.
Yeah, and he well-deserved it, didn't he? It was a cracking fight against Denzel Bentley. He's a cracking lad, actually, Dave, and I know him. And yeah, he's a people's man, he really is. People of Stoke, they love him.
It was a case for many. Bentley losing rather than Heaney winning, but Heaney put on a great job that night. And Ryan Garner is putting on a great job here tonight, so far. I think what will please Garner fans most of all, Richie, is that there has been no loss of focus, not even for half a second so far.
No, he's boxing superbly well, Garner, against a very determined opponent indeed in Dillon, and there, that's a good shot from Liam Dillon, cracking punch.
Cannot switch off, Garner, can't do that. Give Dillon an inch, he takes a mile, he walks straight through you.
He got one home, didn't he? That right hand over the top. That was a belting shot from Liam Dillon.
Richie, it's a quite hard shot to get out of the way of, actually, isn't it?
Well, especially when you got your chin fairly high in the air, which Garner has, and that low lead hand of his, he's just walked onto one.
What if Dillon could do it again?
Yeah, you never know, do you?
One or two little signs in this round that Ryan Garner's defences are beginning to just become, I won't say fall apart by any means, but just be a little looser.
Well, that should give Liam Dillon a little bit more encouragement, shouldn't it? But you know, the big question is, how tough is Liam Dillon? Because he just keeps taking punch after punch. As I say that, he lands a cracking left hook ball.
Garner regathers, tries to go after Dillon, but Dillon perhaps having his best period in the fight just right now.
A couple of good shots have been landed from Liam Dillon in this round. Left up, right hand over the top, that'll give him encouragement, so he knows he can get, if he gets up close, he's got to try and whip that right hand over.
Yes.
And bring Garner, there it was there,
Richard,
that's not too far away at all.
He's in danger of actually really catching Garner with that shot. I say again, I don't think Garner knows how to avoid it.
Occasionally Garner just drifts round to his left, doesn't he, with that low lead hand. He's boxed superbly well at the up to now, Paul, at distance, but he's just lapsed in concentration here in this round, and fair play to Liam Dillon. He's capitalised, good right hand over the top a couple of times here.
Gum shield came out. Here we go again. What a brilliant card. Archie Sharp and all that earlier tonight at Super Feather, and two high-quality operators in the line of fire here now.
That was a good shot as well, Paul, from Dillon. That right hand again.
The first half of the fight, all Garner at his classy best. But there may be a little bit of a shift. Oh, Garner's got some damage to the left cheekbone, Rich. And he catches one again. It's that right hand, sometimes right over the top from Dillon, and Garner's not seeing it, and he's not stopping it.
Yeah, just whipping it over, isn't he? Garner dropping his left hand and just drifting round to his left. But fair play to Liam Dillon. That was a good round for him.
He smirks, does Dillon, as he goes back. There's damage. Frank Hopkins, over to you, one of the world's great cutmen.
He's got a small nip under his eye.
A couple of good shots went in here from Liam Dillon. There was one there, that right hand over the top. Have a look at this. Left up, just misses the target. And Ryan Garner comes back with his own right hand over the top. But it was a better round for Liam Dillon. Found the target a couple of times with the right, especially. Little short right hand from Ryan Garner on the inside there. Quality punch that was.
Can't let the doubts creep in. He knows how good he is in terms of his talent and ability, but he's got to show he can win a fight, even if it's a hard one, at championship level. The time has come. This is the time for Ryan Garner, and Dillon has been through this a few times before. Southern Area title, English title, both won here in the York Hall Bethnal Green. It's his lucky ground in that sense.
So Dillon now encouraged with this right hand over the top, and he's got to get in a position again to land that shot. He does that by drawing the lead of Garner and then try and whip one over as Garner's throwing the jab. But he's got to back him up onto the ropes, Paul. It's all about getting the timing right as Garner throws the shot, then whip the right hand over.
Richie is casing him for him all the time, isn't he? Now, Dillon, he knows that it's his way to victory.
And Ryan Garner has got to keep, for me, got to keep his distance here. Move off more to his right rather than drift around to his left. He's got to move away from that shot.
And if it's a drift, that's the problem, Rich. If it's a slow drift, that's all the invite Dillon needs.
Well, there, that wasn't too far away again, Paul, you see. But like I say, we're going to see how tough Liam Dillon really is, because he's still taking punishment as he's coming forward.
Yes.
How much can he take, Paul?
Absolutely, but he's backing up Garner into his own corner, and the right hand, which has been threatening to do real damage, look closer than ever to doing damage. And I must say, Garner took it well, but he's taking too many right hands now, Richie, surely.
Yeah, and he's got a little nick now above the left eye also. He's got one on the cheek and one on the left eye where the blood's just running down the side of the eye. Ryan Garner. So a few problems in there.
Outside the ring, problems are his speciality, or have been. That's for another day. What a fight this is.
Yeah, this is an absolute cracker. Again, classic case of one boxer seems to be controlling things early on in the contest, but his opponent now, Liam Dillon, he's coming back. And the momentum seems to be with him, trying to land this big right hand over the top. There it is there.
Again and again, Garner is buying it. Can he keep taking them? Dillon believes he cannot. Oh! And it's a magnificent counter sequence of punches from Garner off the long jab. Absolute quality work from Garner, and he backs Dillon up.
What a shot as well, though, Paul. Dillon with the left hook. There's a left hook that went in there from Dillon. That was a belting shot also. And he just froze momentarily. I thought Garner was actually hurt from that shot. What a cracking round.
Richie, I think he's been hurt a couple of times, and there's a lot of damage above the left eye and below it, and now a nick on the right eye as well. Ryan Garner is in a war now. Dillon full of belief as the round comes to a conclusion, and what a round it was.
What a round of boxing this was. Liam Dillon just gets caught with a shot there, landed some good shots of his own in this round. That's lovely boxing at range from Ryan Garner. I think this is where the cut may have come from. Nice clash of heads. Comes back with his own right hand there. That was a good shot from Garner. But Liam Dillon, there's that left hook we spoke about, and it just seemed to stop him in his tracks momentarily. There he was there. What a belting shot that was from Liam Dillon. What a great round, Paul.
That's about cut. Just as well they've got the top man on the job in the corner.
Seconds out, round 7.
So into the 7th of 10. Garner into an early lead, right on top of his game tonight. Dillon watched and waited, believing he could turn it back his way, and most certainly he is doing that.
Yeah, Garner now realises he's in a real fight here. He probably didn't anticipate that Liam Dillon was this tough. Dillon just keeps walking through these shots. Just so determined to land this right hand over the top, just trying to get in the position, get close enough. There it is again, right on cue. You can see him lining the shot up.
Panic is not an option for Garner. So far, he hasn't resorted to panicky responses. He's trying to box his way into calmer part of the fight, if you like, calmer waters.
Oh, you know what? He's just inches away there again, Paul Dillon. And Garner is not helping himself by drifting to the left. He's got to go to the right. Punch with the jab, move off to the right, rather than just keep stepping round to the left with this low lead hand of his. And Dillon can see the target there, and then he just whips it over the top. Good response from Garner, though. That was better. Now there's a little nick as well, Paul. Liam Dillon's left eye, just in the corner. Blood just trickling down the left cheek of Dillon.
Not quite as much speed as Dillon starts to try to show the big right hand again there for Garner. Garner onto his toes and away. For now.
The footwork has just slowed, hasn't it, from Liam Dillon?
It has. He's put a lot into the last 3 rounds, hasn't he, Richie?
Well, we said the big question was going to be how tough is Liam Dillon. He can't keep taking these shots, but he's just feeling the pace a little bit, and I think the pace has slowed momentarily, Paul, and that suited Garner.
Yeah. For me, the big question, knowing Garner's level of ability, Richie, the big question in this fight tonight was how would he cope with a crisis, and at this moment he's coping quite well with that crisis.
Yes, he has, Paul. Yeah, he's responded well here. I think a lot of that's due to Liam Dillon just slowing down, but again, quality work on the back foot from Garner there. Lovely right uppercut, moving backwards to hit the target. Very good indeed. Good left hook, and again, quality work.
He just won't go round to the right though, Richie, and maybe the reason is because he thinks he can throw the left underneath every time Dillon opens up, but my goodness me, both have got the throttle full out here. What next?
Yeah? Yeah, sweet, listen, we're good. I don't give a fuck if you are tired. I know you're right, but listen, you can't sit there. You've got to make sure you push to the right, away from his right hand. You have no choice. Right, you need these rounds big, man. All right, big. Big, you need them big, son.
A sense that they think there's still a lot still to do to turn it Dillon's way.
Seconds out, round 8.
3 to go. the gateway to much bigger fights for much bigger money, surely for both. That 12-round distance, but in a sense, this is a 10-rounder with 3 championship rounds ahead, Rich. 8, 9 and 10.
Yeah, it's still close, this one. I think Garner is slightly ahead, Paul, and I think Dillon's corner feel that. But I don't think there's a lot in it now. He's clawed it back as Dillon. And you're quite right, you were on the head, Paul, about Garner's movement. Because of this left up to the body that he's landed time and again, that's why he's drifting round to the left and looking for that shot.
And Rich, in the longer term, I think they do have to address it, because at elite level, if you're in against a Mexican or a Hispanic world-class operator, and there are lots of them, they're going to suss that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the good bits are really good, and it's been a better little spell again from Garner. Dillon told by his corner he needs to pour it on, but he's not really poured it on just yet in this round.
Now, again, feet have slowed, Paul, and that's suited Garner. He's managing just to cope with the attacks. There isn't quite the intensity from Liam Dillon as he's coming forward, and that's just allowing Garner to adjust, and he can cope with the attacks that are coming.
Funny little trick there by Garner, grabbing at the legs of Dillon. On we go to the body again. It's a razor shot that is hurtful from Garner. Dillon tries with the big right hand, needs a bit more, and does need to find an option or two different, perhaps, Richie.
Yeah, he's just a little bit too far out there. The intent was good to land that right hand over the top. Needed to move his feet probably in a little bit quicker, and with Garner throwing the jab, then that may have connected. Like I say, he's got to get the timing right with the shot. He's got to wait for Garner to throw the left hand, meet it head on and whip it over the top. There, he wasn't too far away, was he?
Garner still looks a little vulnerable to it, doesn't he? That big right hand, even if it's coming in quite slowly now.
Where also he's vulnerable, Paul, is when he's moving away from his opponent. Garner, he moves away with very low hands and the head up, chin in the air, and I think Liam Dillon has picked up on that, and he's caught him on the way out many times here.
Catches him with a lovely uppercut from this loose-handed style of his, Garner. Poetry in motion is a phrase that springs to mind. There's not much poetry about a job like this tonight. This is hard, really hard, both ways.
It's the type of contest, Paul, that could go down right to the last 10 seconds for Liam Dillon to land that shot, because I still think Garner is vulnerable to that right hand over the top. But it's been a good response from Garner in that round.
Excellent.
This is a punch. Yeah, all right. Deep breath, look.
Absolutely captivating contest this has been.
We're punching punches away for a one-for-one reaction, yeah? When you get, you've got to get your hands going, right? Then you can see big left power.
You see it. Even when you throw that big left foot and he steps back, you have to run again.
It seems fanciful to throw this on the table at this point. For the record, this is for the WBC International Super Featherweight title. It's really about a ranking internationally. People will say so it doesn't really count, but once upon a time, Manny Pacquiao and Eric Morales fought for this. In fact, they fought it 3 times. Pacquiao 2-1, and he also beat Marco Antonio Barrera for good measure. Now, I'm not going to compare pound for pound with these two boys, but they've done the belt and its history proud with this fight tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. You're going to ranking with the WBC in the top 15 or 20, maybe, and that is something, isn't it? So, yes, it does mean a lot. And this is a quality contest. It really is a tough fight for both boxers. And I think they've done the belt proud here.
Definitely. And the gateway to so much more, particularly for Ryan Garner, if he can now ease his way to victory. At the moment, he seems to have Dillon's measure after a quite ferocious middle part of this fight tonight.
Well, we always said, didn't we, we'll find out how tough Liam Dillon is, because he can't afford to keep taking these shots. But he's come to it time and again. And the last couple of rounds he slowed down, but now he's on the front foot again, Paul. So has he found that second wind?
Garner gets a ticking off. Garner cannot take a liberty. Garner cannot coast. Garner's career trajectory is on the line. Dillon's already had the bumps in the road, the ups and the downs. He just keeps on going. This is different for Ryan Garner. Ryan Garner has always been seen to possess star quality. Frank Warren and his team always knew that about him, and perhaps made excuses where others would have been chucked out. I think he owes them, and he's delivering that performance tonight.
Yeah, he is, but at the same time, Paul, he's a victim of his own success here because he's scoring well, but we've spoke about it, it's on the way out when he's getting caught, you know, or as he's actually throwing the shot because his hands are so low. He's so relaxed. Yes, he is quality and he's talented, but my God, he's open when he's moving away. Oh, that was quality. 1-2 left hook when you're moving backwards. That was a superb combination from Garner.
He's got all the moves, Ryan Garner. It's a strange mix, really, isn't he? Because he pleases the aesthetic boxing audience, Richie, with his skill set, but he's also pleasing the hardcore by wearing his blood, taking the shots and taking his lumps, to use the old phrase.
Absolutely, Paul. Well, both of them, they're so exciting, aren't they? This has been a really exciting fight. Garner's got all the skills, but he's been caught by Liam Dillon, who's really played his part in this contest. But it's Garner that's finishing the stronger.
Listen to me, switch on all the fucking time, yeah? You listening? Don't give him nothing, yeah? I want good legs from you, yeah? Yeah, 100% engine attack, alright? You listening? Alright? Keep your chin down, keep your hands up, yeah?
Carl Frampton has Ryan Garner heading to victory by quite a substantial margin. The early lead. Carl has it 5 of the first rounds all went to Garner in that magnificent demonstration of the art of boxing. Then a war broke out, but Carl only sees Dillon winning one of those all-important middle rounds and Garner coming on strong. So if Carl is anywhere near accurate, which is probably accurate, Dillon needs a knockout.
I think he definitely needs a knockout, Paul, no question. And I think he'll give it everything. He'll throw the kitchen sink, and he started the round well.
Beaten last time out, not a thought for that now. This would set the record straight in every sense for Dillon if he could somehow pull out the victory. My mind keeps going back to one of the hardest fights I've ever seen in my whole life, Richie. Dennis Andrews against Jeff Harding.
Oh, absolutely.
There's some of the intensity of that with these two super featherweights. Two little guys of 9 stone 4 or thereabouts.
Yes, tremendous. And again, this will be a contender for fight of the year, no doubt.
Certainly win of the year for Ryan Garner. Potentially a win to set him off in a whole new direction in his career. Long awaited. But no deterring Dillon. That is not a knockdown. But Ryan Garner was quite grateful that Kevin Parker stepped in there.
I tell you what, though, Paul, he's taking too many risks here, Garner. He's got to box at distance a little bit more and get his hands up. Just got caught with a shot then that he shouldn't have got caught with. Taking too many risks.
I agree,
He's
Richie.
winning the fight and it's all exciting and the crowd are loving it, but I tell you what, he's risking things here.
Certainly a York Hall classic. Both men cheered to the rafters here. Local boy Dillon. The pride of Southampton, Ryan Garner. Not sure who's prevailing outside the ring. Dillon still trying to pick his moment. Garner is still showing and throwing, but he is looking rather weak to me, Richie. He's got a minute more to go.
Yeah, so he's just got to watch it now. Dillon just going to try this right hand over the top again. The better boxing's from Garner, but his hands are a little bit too low, and Dillon comes on strong. Cracking fight, cracking last round, Paul.
Is there one more big shot from Dillon? One more twist in the plot tonight. Dillon, for all he's worth, but Garner matches him. Garner with such belief in his quality. Will quality dictate, ultimately? Will quality prevail over willpower? 30 seconds.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Garner's fighting fire with fire, isn't he? Standing toe-to-toe, taking his opponent on. Starting to box at distance now, but this has been such an exciting round. Both fighters have landed big shots here, Paul. Garner's probably landed the quality shots, but Dillon, you just can't deter him, just keeps coming.
A magnificent contest it has been from first to last. And they fall into each other's arms. You can't write that, and you can't really explain to people what boxing is. Just look at that.
Incredible, just looking around, everyone, there's not a person who's sitting down, everyone's on their feet. It's an incredible atmosphere. What a fight that was from both boxers. I think Garner's won it, Paul, no question, but what an exciting fight. And Dillon at one point looked to be totally outboxed, but he's come back into it with a couple of big shots and had that belief right to the very end. His will certainly overcame his skill, and he nearly landed that big one. Cracking shot.
Here's a little flavour of the last round, but we could put a highlights reel together from each and every round of this one.
Yeah, lovely body shot there from Garner, and then in return Dillon lands a cracking shot to the head with the right hand. There's the left up from Dillon. Strong as an ox, this kid. Again, the quality in Garner's shots was exceptional throughout the contest. And look how they embrace. That's why our sport is the best in the world, mate.
So it looks like Ryan Garner's about to make the big career move at start, which has been promised from the day he turned pro here back in 2016. But in between, any number of times, his life has threatened to unravel completely. It's almost a Johnny Tapia story in its own way, isn't it? Tapia, who once fought here at the York Hall Bethlehem Green, and they queued all the way to the Mile End Road to get tickets for it, Richie. I'll never forget it. But that was in the great tradition tonight from Garner.
Yes, Garner's had an incredible life up to now, hasn't he? What's happened outside the ring, but you know, he's back on track now, and he's a family man. And yes, he's doing really well. And this was a cracking fight for him, Paul. Really tough one. And as you said, he will go forward from this. Lots of mistakes made in there, but nevertheless, he'll learn from that. But in terms of excitement, 10 out of 10.
Wayne Batten is Mr. Cool in the corner. Never loses composure. Frank Hopkins will be very emotional, I know, because Frank has been into the dark places with this kid, Ryan Garner. Magnificent stuff from Dillon. But it may well be 2 defeats in big fights in a row. Still we wait.
And didn't he play his part, Paul? Liam Dillon. You know, he looked to be out of it at one point, but didn't he play his part? That belief that he had and a couple of the shots that he landed. Just the quality wasn't up to Ryan Garner's standards, in my opinion. But in terms of his spirit and his determination, hey, 10 out of 10.
Here we go, Richie. Devsani.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a round of applause for a York Hall thriller. After 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. John Latham scores the contest 98-93. Lee Every scores the contest 99-92. And Bob Williams scores the contest 98-92 for your winner by unanimous decision. And still WBC International Super Featherweight Champion Ryan the Piranha Garner!
Threatened with jail time. His whole career seemed to fall apart when he was struggling to do the weight. He walked away from a near fatal car crash and then a further serious injury, but suddenly, at last, it seems to be coming together for Ryan Garner.